You walk through the door after a long day, and your heart sinks. The couch cushions are scattered, the shoes are destroyed, and your dog looks up at you with those big, innocent eyes. And in that moment, most of us feel one of two things: frustration or guilt. But what if I told you that everything your dog just did was a message meant only for you? You didn't get a dog to have a perfect house. You got a dog because something inside you needed that kind of love, the kind that's unconditional, messy, and completely real. But here's what most owners don't realize. When your dog destroys your home while you're away, they're not being bad, they're being brokenhearted. And by the end of this video, you're going to see your dog and those destroyed pillows in a completely different light. The moment you leave. The second you pick up your keys, something shifts inside your dog's brain. Research from the University of Lincoln found that dogs experience a measurable stress response the very moment their owner prepares to leave. Their heart rate rises, their breathing changes, and their cortisol, the stress hormone, begins flooding their system. Most people think their dog will calm down once they're gone, but for many dogs, that moment of calm never actually comes. What humans think versus what dogs actually feel. We tell ourselves our dogs are fine, maybe a little dramatic at the door, but fine. We picture them curled up on the couch, napping peacefully until we get back. But a 2020 study published in Applied Animal Behavior Science used cameras and heart monitors to track dogs left alone, and what they found was heartbreaking. Many dogs paced, whimpered, and showed signs of acute distress for hours after their owner left. They weren't being dramatic at the door, they were saying goodbye, like it might be the last time. The hidden language of destruction. Here's something that changed everything for me when I first learned it. Dogs don't destroy your home out of revenge. They don't think that way. According to the American Veterinary Association, destructive behavior in dogs is almost always a symptom of an emotional state, not a behavioral choice. When a dog chews, scratches, or tears things apart, their brain releases a small amount of serotonin, a chemical that temporarily reduces their panic. They're not acting out, they're self-medicating. Why they always go for your things? Have you ever noticed that your dog doesn't destroy just anything? They go for your shoes, your jacket, the pillow you sleep on. Dr. Alexandra Horowitz, a cognitive scientist and dog behavior expert at Columbia University, explains that your belongings carry your scent, and your scent is the most comforting thing in your dog's world. When you leave, your dog searches you through smell, and when they find something that smells like you, they hold it, carry it, or yes, they destroy it. It's not aggression, it's grief. Boredom versus anxiety, they're not the same thing. This is where many dogs become deeply misunderstood. There are actually two very different reasons a dog might destroy your home, and treating them the same way can make things worse. The first is separation anxiety, a genuine psychological condition where dogs panic when separated from their owners. The second is boredom-related destruction, which happens when a mentally and physically understimulated dog simply has nothing to do. Research from the University of Bristol's School of Veterinary Sciences found that dogs with true separation anxiety showed distress within the first 30 minutes of being left alone, while bored dogs often wait until much later. Knowing which one your dog is experiencing changes everything about how you respond. The science of separation anxiety. Separation anxiety isn't a personality flaw, it's a neurological response rooted in survival. Dogs are pack animals, and for thousands of years, being alone meant being vulnerable to predators. A study from the University of Helsinki found that dogs with anxious temperaments had significantly higher baseline cortisol levels, meaning their bodies were already primed for stress before you even walked out the door. Some dogs are simply wired to feel your absence more deeply, and that's not something they chose. We'll come back to this later because the solution isn't about discipline, it's about safety. What your departure ritual is actually doing. Here's something most dog owners have never considered. Your dog is learning your routine every single day. When you put on your shoes, grab your bag, and say goodbye in that specific way, your dog's brain has already associated all of those signals with the coming panic. According to behaviorist and author Patricia McConnell, PhD, departure cues become conditioned triggers, meaning your dog begins to feel anxious before you've even opened the door. Your loving goodbye may actually be making things harder for them. The truth about punishment. I want to talk about something that breaks my heart to hear: dogs being scolded when their owner comes home to a destroyed house. By the time you walk through that door, your dog has no memory of why they did what they did. Their brain simply doesn't connect past behavior to your current reaction. Research from the University of Porto, published in the journal Learning and Behavior, confirmed that punishing dogs after the fact causes fear and confusion, not learning. When your dog looks guilty, they're not feeling remorse. They're reading your body language and trying to make themselves smaller to avoid conflict. That look breaks your heart for a reason, because it's not guilt, it's fear. Exercise, the most underestimated solution. Before we talk about anything else, we need to talk about exercise, because most dogs in modern households are dramatically under-exercised. The American Kennel Club recommends that most medium to large breed dogs receive at least 60 to 90 minutes of vigorous exercise every single day. When a dog hasn't burned off their physical and mental energy before you leave, they have no choice but to do something with it while you're gone. Think of it like sending a child to school after they've been inside all day. The energy has to go somewhere. A tired dog isn't a lazy dog. A tired dog is a settled dog. Mental stimulation, the missing piece. But physical exercise alone isn't enough, and this surprises a lot of people. Dogs need to think as much as they need to move. A study from Uppsala University in Sweden found that dogs who engaged in cognitive tasks like puzzle feeders and scent games showed significantly lower stress hormones than those who only received physical exercise. Your dog has a mind that craves problems to solve, smells to investigate, and challenges to overcome. Giving them a puzzle feeder before you leave isn't just a distraction, it's a gift to their brain. Creating safety, not just space. Many owners buy a crate and hope for the best, but a crate is only helpful if your dog feels safe inside it. Dr. Karen Overall, a veterinary behaviorist and author of The Manual of Clinical Behavioral Medicine for Dogs and Cats, emphasizes that safe confinement must be introduced gradually and with positive associations. A crate introduced too quickly, especially to a dog with separation anxiety, can amplify panic rather than reduce it. But a crate that your dog enters willingly, that smells like you, that contains a long-lasting chew, slowly becomes a den. And a den feels like protection, even when you're not there. The gradual goodbye, desensitization. Here's something of the most quietly powerful things you can do for your dog. Start leaving and coming back. Not for hours, for seconds. Walk out the door, stand outside for 10 seconds, and come back in calmly. This is called graduated departure training, and according to the ASPCA's behavioral guidelines, it's one of the most evidence-based techniques for reducing separation anxiety in dogs. Each tiny departure teaches your dog one thing: you always come back, and slowly, that knowledge rewires their fear. What your dog needs most before you leave. You don't need an elaborate routine, you need a calm one. Research from the University of Lincoln suggests that dogs who receive a quiet, low-key farewell show lower stress indicators than dogs who receive emotional, drawn-out goodbyes. It feels counterintuitive, like you're being cold, but calm energy is the most loving thing you can offer your dog in that moment. When you leave with peace, you give them permission to feel peace too. We'll come back to this idea at the very end because it connects to something much deeper. It was never about the couch. I want you to stop for a moment. Think about every chewed shoe, every torn pillow, every scratched door. Now imagine that each one of those moments was your dog saying, in the only language they have, "I miss you so much, it hurts." That changes things, doesn't it? Dr. Gregory Burns, a neuroscientist at Emory University who published the groundbreaking book, How Dogs Love Us, used MRI brain scans to show that dogs process emotional attachment using the same neural pathways as human beings. Your dog doesn't just enjoy your company, they need you the way we need the people we love most. Every act of destruction was an act of longing, and longing is just another word for love. You came here wondering how to stop your dog from destroying your house, but maybe what you found instead is something you already knew, that your dog loves you in a way that is raw and desperate and real. The practical steps matter: the exercise, the mental stimulation, the calm goodbyes, the gradual desensitization, but underneath all of it is one simple truth. Your dog just needs to believe that you will always come back. So tonight, when you get home, don't think about the mess. Look at your dog and see what's actually there, a heart that chose you, completely and without condition. If this video helped you understand your dog a little better, consider sharing it with someone who loves their dog the way you do. And if you want to keep discovering the hidden emotional world of your dog, subscribe, because every week we go a little deeper.